This video is over chapter 12, naming alcohols. So, naming an alcohol is very, very similar, of course, to naming alkanes. For the sake of this video, then, I'm going to assume you can name an alkane just fine on your own. If you can't, you should go back and watch that video. So all we're going to do for an alcohol is we're going to replace the E at the end of the name with an "-ol". So if you have methane, if you add an alcohol to the methane, we turn it into methanol. So you see how the E turned to a OL? And it's also called methyl alcohol. So again, there are common names. We're not going to use these on the test, but if you see them, that's what they're done. Ethane, excuse me, ethane, right? You get rid of that E and you add an "-ol" if you make it ethanol. So as I said, the steps are pretty much the same, only we're going to change the E at the end of our base chain to an "-ol". And we need to give the location of the alcohol too, which you'll see. So if we start off with this one, our base is hexanol because it has 6 carbons in the main chain, numbered here, and there's an alcohol. Now, the alcohol takes precedence. So you always start numbering as close to the alcohol as you can. So if you said, well, what if we started numbering over here like this, right? You still have a substituent on carbon 2, yes, but we always start as close as you can to the alcohol. So we have a substituent on carbon 5, so there's our 5-methyl. The 2 here is the location of the alcohol, because if you were drawing this tells me to draw 6 carbons, single bonded, but I need to know where the alcohol is. It's not always on the end, just like on this one. And then again, a location with the substituent. So let's try a few of these. This one is just simply methanol, right? This is ethanol, so the ethane. Now notice on methanol and ethanol, we don't have to give a location of the alcohol, because if you have ethanol, if I put the alcohol over here instead, it's the same compound just turned around, right? And of course your hydrogens would be fixed, but it doesn't really matter. Anything beyond 2, you have to have a name or a number. So like on this one, here's my main chain, so that's 3. So my propane turns into propanol, and I don't have any substituents, so I need to give the location of the alcohols on carbon 2. It doesn't really matter which way you name it from. So the next one, my carbon chain on this one, you could go here and have a propanol chain, or you could make this your chain. It doesn't really matter. If you look at it, you're going to get the same answer either way. So I'm just going to do that one since I drew it last. Propane turns to propanol, right? And I need to give a location for that alcohol, so it's going to be on carbon 2. So I'm going to number it like that. It doesn't really matter. Now this time I do have a substituent right here, right? So it looks like I have a 2-methyl 2-propanol. Okay. So let's try the next one. Okay, so down here, 2, 3, 4, looks like I have a butanol. And again, you have to start with the one closest to the alcohol. So you could not start, you could not use that as your first carbon. I need to give a location for the alcohol, so 2-butanol. That one's pretty easy. Okay, last one. Let's see, that appears to be my main chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have a pentanol. Doesn't really matter which way I label it. Now I need to give a location of the alcohol, so it looks like it's a 3-pentanol. And I also have another substituent group as a 3-methyl. So that's it. It's pretty easy. You need to add this location for the alcohol and add the "-ol" ending, but it's the same rules as we did with alkanes. So make sure you try the homework to get some more practice of this. And again, if you can't name alkanes, I strongly suggest going back and watching that video.